Hey, how's it going, y'all? This is Chaz from Classic Komodo, and this is the Armory, a series where I review specific gadgets and give my humble opinion upon them. Well, this time we're talking about all the different types of launchers we have in the game for the Engineer class. And we start off with the Law. The Law is a weird type of weapon. It's basically a fire and forget. A lot of people don't like this weapon because of the fact that it does so little damage. As you can see here, it took all of my shots to kill the tank from the side. It's the same from the front and the rear because it shoots at the top of it shoots up and then towards the top of the tank. So it always does the same amount of damage. The same thing for aerial vehicles, it doesn't kill in one hit. So a lot of people are turned away by this, but it's a fire and forget. This is the RPG. The RPG is a 3-hit kill to the side, and the RPG is very powerful. It's the most powerful most powerful launcher in Battlefield, but it has its downsides. The fact that it has a slower projectile, plus the fact that it arches a lot quicker than a lot of the other launchers. This one, it takes all the rockets to take it out from the front, and from the rear. This launcher only takes 2 shots to take out a tank from the rear. I like the RPG because of the fact that it's really consistent. You know what the arch is for the most part. Once you learn the arch and once you know the projectile velocity, you know how it feels. I just was used to it in Battlefield 3, so like having to account for the arch and stuff like that. So it kills aerial vehicles in one hit, except for the transport helicopter, which it brings it down to 25%. This is a SMAW, and the SMAW and the RPG are now different. The SMAW is it's more accurate. It has a higher velocity, plus it has a lower drop. So it's going to be your more accurate weapon. It takes the same amount of shots to hit from the side, and I believe the same amount, and actually, it took 1 less from the side. I didn't know if that was because of my tests were a little bit messed up, but I believe it's the same amount because of the fact that it did less damage. I think I was hitting the first time with the RPG at an angle, and that actually plays a big part when when using launchers. If you hit a tank at an angle, it does less effective damage. So you want to make sure you do straight shots, not angular shots, if you can. And for the most part, you want to aim for the flank or the side, not the front. Because you can see it takes all the rockets if you hit it from the front. Now this was weird too because I shot 2 shots and it didn't kill the tank. It took 3 shots from the flank, which was weird. Again, I don't know if it's because of my tests. I'm on Simthic.com. That's where I get most of my stats, and they don't have anything on the launchers as of yet. But as of right now, it's doing. It still kills aerial vehicles 1 hit, and it brings the transport to 34. This is the Javelin. The Javelin is a lock-on to ground targets. It's the same thing as the Law. It's always gonna hit at the top of the vehicle or the top side of the vehicle. So from the front, side, and back, it's all gonna do the same amount of damage. And I'm actually gonna show you that in a second. The fact that I shoot it from all angles and it's gonna take the same amount of rockets to kill it. The Javelin is a good weapon if you got a teammate with you. If you got somebody to lock on weapons like a recon player to help lock on targets with you, it's a great weapon because of the fact, that you could shoot both air and ground vehicles with it if you got a teammate with you. If not, it only can lock on to ground vehicles, not air. And it does, like I said, consistent amount of damage. It's always going to be hitting on the top of tanks. It's going to one-shot helicopters, and except for the transport helicopter, of course, it's not going to one-shot that. It's going to take all the rockets take 2 to take down a transport helicopter. I don't have any footage of this one shooting at the transport helicopter, but I think y'all could believe me on the fact that it takes out regular choppers. This is the SRAW. The SRAW is one of my personal favorites because of the fact that it's wire guided. What does that mean? It means that you have to maintain in the reticle, you have to look through the reticle, and you can guide where the rocket is going. As you can see in the first shot, it was weird. I got that tank and I killed it in 3 shots on the side. Very weird. But it takes 4 shots to the, 5 shots to the front, 3 to the side for some reason on that practice, and again, 2 to the back. It's a very powerful weapon. I really like it because, one, you could guide where you were going with it. The only problem is the fact that it's slow. It's a very slow projectile weapon. It's going to take a while to get to its target, but it one-shots helicopters like you could see here, and it brings the transport helicopter down to a low health as well. Also, the fact that if you have somebody with a something that can target laser designate, it also can be laser designated as well. So that's pretty good. The next two are the air lock-on weapons, which are the Igla and the Stinger missile. And I was confused at first, because I was like, man, the Igla, since you have to lock on and keep a lock held onto the vehicle, that it would be doing more damage. But it doesn't. They both do 45 damage. So what's the perks of having a Igla over a Stinger? Because Stinger, you just fire and forget. Like, you just shoot at it, you shoot and whatever, it's gone. Well, the pros of the Igla is the fact that it travels faster, it has a longer range, and the fact that even if you lose designation, so like if they flare, you could after they flare and you get redesignation on the helicopter, you have a chance of the rocket actually coming back and redesignating itself to the helicopter and hitting it. So it's really effective. The only downside is if they go out of go into cover or something like that, you're SOL, because the fact that you have to maintain that lock. So that's the downside to it. I prefer the Igla just mainly because of the fact that I could shoot in the air, they'll flare, I'll reload, shoot again, and then both of my rockets might simultaneously hit at once, which is pretty awesome. But thanks again, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see y'all again. And as always, stay classy.